Hi guys, welcome back to the Perk Pace Podcast. Today we've got a very special guest, Giwa. Welcome.
Hey. Thank you.
So Giwa is a content creator. She's got nearly 250,000 Instagram followers, which is just crazy. Gymshark ambassador and currently studying marketing at the University of Northampton.
Thank you so much.
Welcome
I'm so
to the
happy
podcast.
To be here.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. We start off with a little...
We do, yeah. A little quick fire round, just to sort of get you into the swing of things, if that's all right. Don't overthink it. First thing that comes to your head, just so our listeners can kind of get a taste for you and your vibe. What is your go-to coffee shop order if you're in a cafe?
So I'll do caramel oat latte. That's my go-to. Yeah, because I really love the caramel flavour. So anything with caramel, really, just give it to me.
What was that concoction you had yesterday? That was crazy.
That was the blueberry matcha.
Oh,
Matcha.
wow.
That was, yeah. So
That was like 3 different colours, wasn't it?
it was like
yeah.
3 different colours.
Yeah.
So they start with the matcha syrup.
Yeah.
If they don't use the syrup, they use the sauce. I think that was what they used yesterday. So it was quite colourful.
Yeah, yeah.
So they use the matcha and they put the milk and...
Wow. Everyone was like, what is this?
That looks really great, honestly. Yeah.
I'm just getting into matcha myself, actually. I was at first I was like, oh, this tastes like pond water. But I think I'm starting to come around to
Yes,
it.
because the caffeine doesn't just eat you at once. It's like...
Like slow release.
Slowly. It doesn't go from 0 to 100. It's like 10, 20, 30, 40, which is quite great. And it really like helps you like during the day. And I don't crash.
Yeah.
Which is what coffee does to me. You know, I will just crash after having coffee, like maybe like after 2 hours or 3.
Just keep drinking.
Yeah.
Just
That's the key, just keep drinking.
Keep topping yourself up.
You go to the gym a lot. What's your least favourite gym exercise?
My least favorite gym exercise, I think over the years, right, I've come to see that if you say something is your least favorite exercise, it's because it challenges you.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
So if something does challenge me, I'm like, why does it challenge me?
You like lean into it,
I'm lean into it and try to like figure out like, okay, how can we develop love for it? Like right now, I'm trying to get better at pull-ups. And I realize pull-ups is harder for me because I have to pick up my own weight.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah.
I love that's a good answer. I love that.
Yeah. Everyone else is like Bulgarian split squats.
Anything single leg.
Yeah.
I was far too positive.
I love that. Okay, if you could have one superpower, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I'll say superpower, is it to change something in the world or...
Could be.
I mean, that's a lovely answer. Some
I
people
just
say
would,
invisibility, some people say flying, but go with it, please.
I would definitely say for more to make people more kind.
Yeah.
I would say I think we could do...
You're knocking these answers out the park.
great.
Everyone else is just like, I just want to be invisible. I just want to I want to be able to fly. And you're there like, I want to make everyone kinder.
Yeah, honestly, if I could do that, I would love for like just more kindness. I think we could do more for that. Recently in uni, we're doing this campaign with like Safer Street campaign. And when we came up like with the brief, it was like we were so focused on how to make girls protect themselves. And one of the police that came in for the brief were just telling us like, how about the community itself? How do they protect women, you know? So it's like if we were able to work on people just being more caring and more kind towards each other, I would need to think about how to have so and so to protect myself in a way.
Absolutely.
So that's why I've just kind of like gone
And
with
it should
more
be
kindness.
more. Yeah, it should be more focused on like how, for instance, like the women's safety piece.
Yes.
What are we doing to make sure men are making better
Yeah.
decisions rather than just what are you doing to make yourself feel
Yes,
safe? Like that shouldn't
exactly.
be the
Preach.
cool.
Okay, changing the mood slightly, what's your desert island food? If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what's your soul food?
Oh my God.
Don't ask me.
No, I'll have jollof rice.
Nice.
Jollof rice with chicken.
Oh.
Okay.
That's my go-to food. Like, give me that
Yeah.
any time of the day, any time of the week. I would crush.
Where's your go-to place in town for that? Because isn't there one by...
No, I make that.
Do you? Oh.
Can we come round your house?
I
Yeah.
was going to say, thanks for bringing
Yeah. Thanks for the invite.
Nice.
I could bring some.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Very delicious and it's very flavorful as well. Yeah.
Nice. Love that.
Okay, final one. Do you have a secret talent or a party trick that maybe people don't know about?
No. I'll say maybe singing.
Yes!
Right.
I sing too. Let's start a band.
Yeah. Oh, let's do that. I'll say singing, and I think of it like I used to like sing in church and be in the choir, but over the years I've just kind of like not really done that, and I feel like people have also forgotten that aspect of me as well. But yeah, definitely singing. I like singing to myself.
Such a great release, isn't
I
it?
know.
Love that.
Nice.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think the best place to start as well, before we jump into the questions, is just tell us a little bit about yourself. So, like, what are you doing now, life in general, all that sort of stuff.
Or where are you from?
Where am I
Your
from?
backstory.
My backstory. My name is Giwa. My backstory, like before I got fully into fitness, I used to be a commercial model. So I used to do shoot for like fashion brands. So I think during the lockdown, it was always gym for me. I just only had gym to just like train at home and share my stuff, and that's kind of like where the love for fitness started from. And people will be like, "Oh, just share some of your workout. We would love to see more of that." So that's where I've kind of like just evolve, I'll say. Change my
And is this before you had like a social presence per se? Or was
I
it
did
just...
had social presence, but it wasn't nothing much. I probably had very small community then. I wouldn't even say community because nobody knew me. You know? But yeah. I'm currently studying advertising and digital marketing because my first degree didn't like it, and I was like, oh, I really love marketing. I love the brand aspect of marketing, being able to just like bring people together, the idea of, you know, bringing people together and sharing your joy, your love for something has just always like draw closer to me. So that's why I'm just like, you know what, let's do what we love. Why don't we?
What was your first degree? You just mentioned that then.
That's hospitality management, more like hotel management. Yeah, I didn't quite like it. It was just like, yeah, just
That's quite a not I wouldn't say brave, because you know I can clearly see why you did it, but quite a big leap to do one degree and then decide to go back and do another one. Did you do it a few years later, I guess, or just?
I think I took a break, like 3-4 years in between before I decided to go for this one.
Nice.
Yeah, it does require you to be brave because it's like, so you start thinking like so many of your mates are not even back there. But I feel like the purpose of life is finding what brings you joy. And it's like, why do we have a timeline for when you're supposed to achieve certain things? And it's like, at the end of the day, I just want to be at peace and be happy with myself. And being able to sleep at home and say, oh, very happy, very peaceful. Yeah.
Amazing.
I think those are the things that like drag me towards like most of the decisions I make in life. Not looking at timelines and doing something that ultimately brings me joy and peace.
It's a really powerful place to be that, because you get a level of content that a lot of people don't get, but they struggle to find it because you've got everything on social media telling you to have a kid by the time you're 30 or have a house or do whatever.
Yes.
So yeah, kudos to you.
Is that something that would you say you're consciously, you say it's something that's how you make your decisions now? Is it a conscious thing? Like, does this bring me joy?
Yes.
Do you have to remind yourself to do it, or is it habit now?
Sometimes I still have to remind myself, because I'm still human at the end of the day, and I get distracted just like everyone else. But it's more so like, before I make a very big decision in my life, it's like, how does this really help me become the person I'm trying to be? You know, so that's what has helped me. Yes.
I love that. I follow you on Instagram. I've talked to you a little bit in person. I can see that you have a very strong sense of faith, and faith means different things to different people. I grew up around a church and have kind of moved away from it. But it's but that's where I kind of have that sort of respect for faith meaning different things to different people.
It's different.
What does it personally mean to you, and how do you think it's kind of shaped your journey?
Faith to me is an anchor.
An anchor.
An anchor in life. It's almost like if you don't stand for something, you fall for something, right? It helps guide me through the most difficult period, and it's like I have this to hold on to, regardless of any adversity, regardless of any pain. And yeah, I think that's definitely what faith means to me. Having an anchor that guides me towards everything I do, being human in life. So yeah.
Amazing. Where do you think that belief came from? Like, where did it originate from? Were there any sort of moments or experiences that shaped you leaning more towards having that sense of belief and faith in your life?
Yes. Over the years, I've definitely gone through things. And I've had low moments. And there were times that I would say I wasn't even proud of some of the things I've done, you know, and it was a lot of pain, you know. But ultimately, I definitely believe like God saved me, you know. I feel like I wouldn't know who I am now if I wasn't saved at all. So yeah, that's
amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's it.
Was that a moment where you felt like you were being saved? This really interests me. Like, was there like was that like a tangent moment for you?
Yes, there was.
Wow. Okay, so you kind of mentioned it there. I'm interested to know if you've experienced moments or incidents that made you question that faith. And then how did you navigate those doubts?
There were definitely moments that makes me question my faith, especially because when you pray for something, you expect for you to receive it almost immediately. And it's like, God is not a genie.
That's such a good word.
Damn it.
Yes. God is not a genie that when you ask for something from it, it's just going to give you. When you have, like this morning now, it's like when you continue to pray to God for patience, it's going to give you things to test you.
To make you impatient and
So it's really going to question if you're really ready for what you're asking for. And I still go through those moments where it's like, it still tests my faith if it's just for me to receive something, and it's not to like build me, get closer, know who my creator is. And yeah.
And in your sort of like day-to-day life, what does your faith look like day-to-day? How does it, you know, we just spoke about it a little bit there, but how does it shape your beliefs into like, you know, things like your fitness or the content work that you're doing? How does, because it definitely comes across in what you do. So
yes.
Yeah.
So faith and fitness is very tricky. Very tricky.
Yeah.
The fitness industry is a very interesting place, right? And so I try my absolute best to only do things that that don't make me question myself, if that makes sense. For me now, I don't align myself with brands that I don't believe in.
Sure.
Just for the check. It's very easy, but because I know that at the end of the day, I want to be able to sleep peacefully, go to bed in peace, and not be like, I've just gone there to lie to someone to go buy something when I genuinely do not like it. Yeah. So I think that's how like I've been able to navigate faith with fitness, because it comes to a point where the love of money might want to overpower your faith. And you have to consciously remind yourself to not let that happen. You know, so
and have you said no to brands and partnerships?
Honestly, I feel like I've said a lot of no's like a lot of no's.
Good for you, though.
And that's why currently I'm not even working with any supplement brand, because to an extent I just don't think they genuinely do anything for me. And it's like I have to lie to someone to go buy them that is gonna help them to be and it's like, oh no, that's not what I stand for. That I don't think I'll be able to sleep with myself if I have to do something like that just because of money. Yeah.
You said just then faith and fitness is tricky. Can I ask you why? What you mean by that?
Okay. When it comes to body positivity, with my journey in my faith, right now I'm leading towards modesty, right? And the fitness community itself is more so opening yourself up, right? And so I'm in a place where I'm trying to choose how I'm going to navigate that when it comes to like covering yourself up as a woman, right? And know like, even when I get sent parcel and I receive deliveries and I see really cute sport bra and I'm like, okay, is that really what I want to like sell to younger women? And so I'm still kind of in a place where I'm trying to navigate what that means to me, and I haven't fully like concluded on the next step I'm going to make towards like what I want to promote and how I want to show up in fitness, and also like respecting my faith as well. Yeah. So that's why I've just mentioned it's a little bit tricky with faith, and also like I would like to mention that this is not even just doing it for anyone. At the end of the day, it's for yourself, right? And ultimately, I just want to do something that makes me be myself, I guess. Yeah.
Your community are going to respect that, though. That's what they're going to love, that authenticity about you.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, from my perspective, I see that you work really closely with Gymshark. Do you feel like they respect that?
They do respect that.
Great.
I think that's one thing I really love about Gymshark. There's this very big creator that used to maybe I wouldn't really say respect their faith. Maybe they were not really deep in their faith back then, but I would say they've probably been called now. They've been saved now, and I remember like that transitioning for that creator. It was quite, everyone was really noticed it, and now they fully supported that, and they even created like a collection with that person for modesty now. And so it's like, that's truly a brand you want to continue to align yourself with, because they respect who you are, they respect your value. Either they've known you to be that person, or you've come to be that person during the time that you're working with them.
They're not trying
They're
to
very
change
open.
you.
They will try to support your decisions and who you're trying to be as a person. So I definitely love that part of the brand.
How did the whole Gymshark ambassador piece come into play?
I've loved Gymshark.
You must get that question all the time.
I do get that question. That it's been a long time. Like, I've always loved Gymshark. Honestly, I would spend my last money buying Gymshark because I just really love the
Take
product.
my money.
Take my money, I'll give you. So I remember my management then. I was like, let's reach out to them. I've been trying to reach out to them for years. But, sometimes you just don't get noticed because maybe their eyes are not just really on you. So we had emailed one of the marketing manager in the States. So I think the lady took a look at my profile and she just like sent my contact to the ones here in the UK. And that was like how the relationship started. They reached out to me. That time they were holding like an event in Manchester. So they invited me to come for like the tour. We went on the tour. So that was where like the relationship started developing from. And there was a time where I wasn't even like exclusive with the brand. It was just, they were just doing gifting and just like campaigns, summer sale, But I think over almost like 2 years now, being able to say, let's just lock in on one brand, because I don't want to come to my community and say, this brand is good, this brand is good, this is good. Is that really true? Which one do you really align yourself with when it comes to like your value as a human? So I feel like it's been them, and I've felt seen with the brand as well. And so I've just decided to just stay with the brand myself.
You mentioned the word exclusivity there then. So is it like that is the only clothing brand you align yourself with?
Right now.
Yeah.
That's them for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they just tick the boxes for me now. Yeah, and also like I feel like the love for them is not just from the money you get paid. Obviously, like working with a brand, you get paid, you get opportunities. It's more so the love you have for the brand. You feel like your value as human yourself feel very aligned with them, because Gymshark is all about community, right? So that's why I've just decided to just be with one. Why try like come to my community and say I have
this is what you do.
This today, I have that today, and now I can just say this is the brand I fully believe in and I feel supported by. So
it's a nice message for your followers. Yeah. I mean, let's talk about social media then. It obviously plays quite a large role in your life. and especially with such a large following, how do you... we're really interested in social media and mental health. How do you interact with social media? How often? And how does that work as part of your lifestyle?
So there's... Over the years, I've tried to make changes when it comes to how I consume social media, and I'll follow people I love. I'll follow people that I learn something from. But when it comes to like being a content creator and consuming content and just, taking in other people's life, I've just tried to... Sometimes I'll even like just drop my phone. The world is not going to end if I do that.
Yeah.
Right? And just try to get creative on my own and not let that be the only thing that I'm focused on. Right? I don't know if you're following me.
No, I don't. No,
No,
joking.
I love that. I really like that.
Of course we do.
Yeah.
So, I'm the type of person that even when I go for the run, I'll drop my social media phone at home and I'll just go with my other phone.
You have a separate social media
Just-
phone.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that the trick?
Yes, I will do that.
Yeah.
Is
Because
that how you keep these things separate?
that's how I keep them
super
separate.
smart.
Is that the trick? Am I missing out?
Yeah.
Super smart.
That could definitely it definitely does the trick for me, because even what you interact with almost every time
Yeah.
can
It
impact
feeds your
how
energy.
you feel. It feeds your energy, and I'm very based on energy. When I feel overwhelmed, I'll just drop it.
Because we had this well, sort of a similar conversation yesterday, because I've obviously got nowhere near as many followers as you, but I'm sort of building out my content creation, and I'm already realizing that I'm just so consumed with my phone because I'm checking the different accounts, I'm checking the
It
interactions
gets
and all
like
so
that.
it's just like,
Yes, I try, and also my notifications when it comes to like my comments.
Off.
you just turn it off.
My comment, my likes, my following, everything is off.
Yeah.
I only see them maybe if I open my phone and I see the notification box. And also I feel like I wasn't even paying attention to so many things with social media, and brand made me started to pay attention to it because they ask for the numbers.
Do
Yes.
Yes.
They
So
want to know what's
even
working, don't they?
so like when it comes to like your insights,
Yeah.
when they ask for that, it might start making you question yourself. It's like, where are your follower based? How many women to men ratio? How many engagements? I think things like how many accounts did you reach? How many people use your link
Have you
to
had some
buy
crazy
something?
crazy videos that have blowed up, like the reels and stuff, numbers? Haven't you had something like, what's the highest one?
I've had viral moments and it reached wrong audience.
Oh.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like when you can't really control how these things goes up.
Yeah, once it's out there, it's out there.
Once it's out there, it's out there. So it's like when it reaches the wrong audience, you just have to know that, oh no, these are not my people.
Just learn from it though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so with social media, I try to separate when I want to go on my phone, when I want to consume content. And so I even put is it limitation to like
Yes.
2 hours for Instagram a day, just so that's not what I fully consume every other time. Yeah, that's how I've been able to separate my presence on social media and also maintaining my mental health. Because it gets so much, especially when I follow a lot of creators. I think probably 50% of the people I follow are creators. So you get on, you see how they're living their lives. You see, you're human. You're gonna feel like maybe you're not doing us enough. And so how I've been able to just maintain my own health is,
Burn a phone.
yeah,
I have two.
boundaries.
Well, I have two follow-up questions, if that's all right. And one was about boundaries. Would you say then there are elements of your life where you're just, no question, they don't get shared on
Yes.
social media?
Yes, they didn't get shared. My personal relationship, my family, I don't share that.
This is it, yeah.
Yes, I don't share that because I this is interesting. I remember I was in a relationship like maybe 2 years ago, And I don't even post that, but it was their birthday, like my partner's birthday, and I just shared like, oh, happy birthday to so.
And the followers went wild.
Oh my God. And
How dare you cheat on us?
No, aside that, some people were just like, how would you be with that person? How would you, you know, yeah.
How rude.
At the end, so that's why I've just said like boundaries.
Yeah.
There are some certain part aspects of my life I wouldn't really share because I just don't want judgment, especially when they don't see the full picture of things.
That's the problem with social media, isn't it? They just see one picture, one comment, and they think they understand the context of the story.
Yes, and so I try to just protect.
I was just going to ask, do you have any experience with like, I mean, I'm sure you do, but like negative comments, trolls?
Of course.
How do you deal with that?
Really?
I ignore.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I ignore it.
That's you know when you talk about superpowers.
Yeah.
That is such a superpower because it takes a lot to just not even act or do anything to it.
Yeah, I ignore it. Sometimes it does get to you.
I bet. Especially if like, because obviously we all have insecurities, we're all human. So especially if, I think for me, if they were to hit on something that's already a pre-existing thing for me, being able to ignore that.
Yeah, and there are even times like even people that follows you and like your stuff. I remember there was a time I feel like she wanted to share my video to one of her friends and wrote like a very wild comment.
And it went to you.
And it came straight to me. And I was online then and I immediately saw that. And that just made me, and it was something about my body actually.
Yeah.
And it made me feel like, oh wow. And I laughed over it, but ultimately down the line, I was just like, oh, wow, maybe there's something I need to change.
No,
that makes you start feeling,
feel sorry for them.
Yeah, that makes you start feeling conscious and, you know, yeah.
Ultimately, it's a reflection of them and how they feel about themselves.
Yeah, I feel like ultimately it's just like when you have a sense of self, it's almost interesting when someone tries to tell you about you. When you know who you are.
Yeah.
Please tell me about myself.
But you know, it's true though, because like, especially when, like for me, when I was younger, if someone would not attack me or say something to me, I'd instantly just, you know, you get that sick feeling and you'd start to just react. I just want to bite like a dog. I just want to go like back. But when you talk about having that more mature sense of self, you almost feel like you've got a bit of a shield around you, yeah? And you just like, rather than, you almost feel not compassion, but you feel a sense of, I hope they're all right.
Yeah,
you know, have they really got that much time on their hands?
Why would you say that to anyone? Yeah, I will pray for you. Yeah, because for anyone to say some really bad, hurtful things to someone is a reflection of who they are. Yeah. So I feel like if I pray for you to love yourself, you'll probably be able to share that love to other people.
We talk about like obviously your values and how it shaped the work that you do with brands and stuff. Has there been any really cool opportunities that have come your way, or anything that you've got coming up that you kind of want to hint at, or?
Nothing in the works right now. Yeah, I've said no to.
Go on, drop a name. Go on.
Can I drop the name?
Yeah.
Oh my
God. If
God.
you don't like it, we'll just edit it out. We'll edit it out.
My protein.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My protein. There was a time I tried them out. I think like 4 years ago. I tried the supplement. Now even really say most of like, you see they tell you pancake mix. Or some mix. Or these. The ones I didn't really like, I'm not going to go lie to someone that is working for me when I don't even like it. Yeah. So cool. there are so many partnerships I've said no to. And I even remember there's one, Define, is an activewear brand. I think they're like based in the US. And I remember they really treated one creator here in the UK, Natalie. I don't know if you know Natalie B Fitness.
Name rings a bell.
Yeah. She's opening like a female-only gym in London.
I think I know this. And didn't she get recently a lot of hate about making it women only?
Yes. Yes. So there was actually there's actually a activewear brand from the US she worked with. Yeah. And she shared how the brand, they were not, after she submitted like her campaigns and everything, she sent the invoices, they were not trying to pay. They didn't treat her good. And I remember them coming to me to say, we want to partner with you. I'm like, you didn't even treat someone good. Well, how am I going to trust you? So yeah, there's been a lot of no's. Cool. I feel there's been a lot of no's than yeses. Because for me, when I feel aligned with you, when I feel like when I feel like you value who I am as a person, it's easy. Like, why try to work with 5 other people when you can solidify yourself with one to grow more stronger?
And I'm just like thinking off the top of my head, and is this something that you're managing by yourself, or have you got your agency that does it for you?
I do have
the
a
partnership
management
stuff for you.
they do partnership stuff, because I try to be in my creative bubble. Because when it comes to like negotiating contracts and talking about money, it can get quite a bit with brands, you know, and I feel like it takes away from the creativity. You start to take in some of the emotions during the negotiation process. And so I just try to leave that to my management, and they just come to me, you know what, this is what we're working with. Are you okay?
It's one less headache.
Yeah, it's left for me to say if I like it for us to proceed, or just say no. And I saw that has been able to just protect me and put me in a place where I'm able to just focus on the work that I'm doing. Yeah.
It's more authentic that way.
Yeah, it's more authentic that way.
You've already mentioned body positivity. I'd like to ask you about that. I mean, first of all, what does it mean to you is the important thing I'd like to know. But then what about the pressure that social media puts on women, especially, to look a certain way? I mean, you can answer that first, but then like how you encourage your followers to embrace their bodies and feel comfortable.
I think especially for women, we don't always love ourselves. Yeah.
I think it's rare to find a woman that fully embraces her body.
And you know, sometimes I get comments where women are telling me, "Oh, you look so perfect. You look amazing." And I know it's coming from a place of love, and maybe even them encouraging me to like keep showing up. And so I'll be like, no, I'm not perfect though. There are still some things I really want to change about myself, but I can't. And I have to learn to love myself, because those are things I cannot change. You know, I've been created that way. And so if I go to say I want to start altering how I look or go for this, it's almost like going against what I stand for, you know.
It's like you're pushing against the wall that just won't move.
Pushing against the wall. And so there are days you won't love yourself, and there are days you'll be very, very happy and confident. And it's just like being able to navigate and say, you know what, it's just a feeling. We'll probably feel better. And maybe it's even just my monthly period that's coming that is making me feel out of body, and let's give it some few days, we'll feel more better than that. So,
and do people ever sort of talk to you about, well, I don't feel comfortable in my body? Do they come to you for advice on that?
Yeah.
What do you say?
I just try to tell them that it never goes away. It never. If you can try your best to be a better person, but ultimately you will definitely see up those days where it's like there's still something I want to change. And I also, when it even comes to like body positivity, I've had friends, really close friends, that have gone for surgery. They didn't like things about themselves. They've gone for surgery, and at the end of the day, they still didn't like themselves because all it boils down to is self-acceptance. And so if you really you really need to accept who you are, and even though you're gonna try to better it and train and work out and work on your diet and look really nice, you have abs, you have these. Yeah.
Do you think fitness is a great tool, or health, should I say, to helping you on that journey of accepting yourself?
I think
because
for me
you're loving
now,
yourself by,
I think for me now, fitness used to be about my body, but now it's not. It's something I do to stay sane in an insane world.
Oh my God, yeah.
In an insane world, because when it comes to like even juggling and navigating everyday life, I get overwhelmed. And when I'm overwhelmed, I drop everything. Like, I'll just be like, I need to focus on what I need to do. And so that keeps me going. You know, when I'm having a really shitty day or I'm having a really shitty week, I'll just go train. That 2 hours to myself changes everything.
It's game changing.
You know, leave the gym with like, okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought, was it?
The world's not crashing down.
Yeah, the world's not crashing down. So
also, it's dedicated you time, isn't it? It's something you do for yourself.
It's something you do for yourself. And it's like, before I give to other people, let me pour back into myself. Because for you to be able to love other people, you need to love yourself and you need to work on yourself. So that time is very sacred. I'll go gym just turn off my data. Don't message
Airplane
me.
mode.
Airplane mode. Just focus and just feel good.
Love that.
Yeah.
So looking ahead at future goals and where you want to take your platform. Now it's obviously exploding and stuff like that. Like, what does the next few years look like for you? Like, personally, professionally, have you got any ambitions?
Yes, so I'm in a place where I'm trying to decide if I want to stay at the back end of marketing or be at the forefront, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to navigate, okay, when we do finish uni, are we practicing working with a company and a brand to help build the community? Or how am I going to navigate my career that I've built over the years with also like the professional side of things? And so I'm in a place where I'm still trying to navigate how I'm gonna do that. But really because I also feel like I've worked so hard to build the platform I have now. And so, motivating girls to love themselves, to show up for themselves, to say, feel strong, feel powerful. And there were times that especially when I find myself in a male-dominated space, sometimes I feel out of order. Am I not supposed to be here? Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine being in the gym and you see like six guys at the dumbbell area and it's like,
You're in there just crushing it as well. Obviously.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. But it takes time to build that confidence. And it's like, I try to show up to say, girls,
you belong here too.
You belong there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you belong there too.
You've talked about like aligning with brands. Would you ever start your own brand? Just listening to you talk then, I'm thinking you need to do this.
I love that.
If you need a social media manager,
I know, I love that because there was actually a time where I had an activewear brand. I called it Get Bodied NG.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people knew that because it was at the start of my fitness career as well. People knew that, and I'd sewed, but during the lockdown, I just closed down. Like, I don't know if I'm meant for business.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it sounds like you are. I mean, have confidence in that. You've got such a great headspace.
I think it's just accepting that you can really do the hard things as well.
You can do the hard things.
Yeah, because I have friends that are entrepreneurs, and I see how it is rewarding, right? There's a good side of business, and the bad side, it does eat has.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's absolutely fine.
you've got. I suppose you've got to know where your strengths are. Like you said, when you said about like you just being at the forefront, being creative, and having your team do the back end stuff.
Yes.
It's just finding your little space and then bringing the right people around you to fill the gaps.
Fill the gaps. Okay.
We'll bring out that blue hoodie.
Okay. I love that. We need to do that.
Giwa is asking for her own version of Matt's Perk Pace hoodies, like a little.
But I want it in blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I love that.
Better get the sewing kit out.
Such a big deal. I get to get my own hoodie.
Just give me in blue.
I mean, final sort of main question. You sound like you've got a really nice balance of things,
and it's taken a lot of work.
I bet.
There were times I didn't have that.
Well, that's the thing I was going to ask. What would your main tips be for someone who's looking for that kind of balance? It's coming from not having it so much to having balance. If someone's trying the work, the career, the fitness, the faith, or social media, what are your main tips for finding that balance?
I would say they need to find an anchor that guides them. Because that's something that can be steady for you. And regardless of anything that shakes you in life, you can really hold on to that. And it's like, I will cry if I need to cry. I will cry to God and say, help me, because honestly, there are times you can't really help yourself. And so when you have that, you have something to hold on to during hard times, during low times. It really helps you.
Love that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good place to...
It is nice, yeah.
Wrap it up.
If anyone wants to know more about you, if they don't follow you, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Evolve by GD. My name is Giwa. And also TikTok, the same username.
Nice. We will be sure to tag them.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for
Absolutely loved that.
having me.
It's such a lovely, like, positive energy and message.
Thank you.
Been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you. Please drop in the comments. Please follow Giwa and tell us what you think. If there's anything you'd like to know from her, I'm sure she'll answer some questions. But thank you, everyone. See you next time.
Bye bye.
Thank you.